no one has any idea they're going to win. That's how the Steve Martin Prize for Excellence in Banjo and Bluegrass Music works. And I met Steve back in 2009 when, and he's always been a hero. Like every banjo player, he's been a hero of mine. A hero of them. We love Steve Martin. He's a banjo guy, and banjo players are kind of in their own club. You know, it's just they kind of geek along, and everybody loves it. You know, well, Steve was just like that. And I sent him a couple of projects that I'd done. Just put an envelope in the mail, sent it out to his agent in Hollywood, and cut some banjos out and scotch taped them to the front of the label, and just sent it out. And says, "Man, I just love the way you play." And I started getting these cards in the mail. The first card that came was in Boston, from Hollywood. It said in Boston, Steve Martin. He goes, "Dear Mark, how do you play so beautiful, Steve Martin?" Like that. And then he sent another project out, and he sent me back another project or a card. He goes, it was comedic. He goes, "Dear Mark, although I hate to spend the money, I'm sending both you and Emery a copy of my new CD." He goes, I've played yours so much, I've worn the needle out. Oh, wait a minute, maybe that's why there's scratches all over the CD, Steve Martin. So we had this thing going back and forth in the mail, and I get an email from him. He goes, "Dear Mark, do you travel?" I go, "Yeah, I travel." He goes, "I'd like to fly you up to New York City to have dinner with me and my wife, and have me take lessons from you. I'll take care of expenses and stuff." So it was at Christmas time in 2009, and I wound up flying up to New York City, and I land in LaGuardia, and I drive across Central Park in a taxi, and I get into the hotel. Steve put me in this wonderful hotel right near where he lives, and I no sooner, I'm ringing away because it's been raining out. I throw the stuff on the bed, the phone rings, and it's Steve Martin, and he goes, "Hey Mark, how you doing?" I go, "Hey Mr. Martin, how's it going?" He goes, "Mark, please call me Steve." This kind of thing. They go, "You hungry?" I go, "Yeah, yeah." It's dark out. It's like 8 o'clock at night. The plane was a little late, so he goes, "Come on over." So I head on over. And you get to the front door of the building there, and there's these doormen, big guys like me, you know. They're looking at me like, "Who the hell are you?" You know. And I tell them, I says, "My name's Mark Johnson. I'm here as a guest of Mr. Steve Martin's. Can you please give him a call?" And the guy in the background's on the phone going, "Yes, Mr. Johnson, right this way. There's the elevator there. Take it up to the 11th floor, just go right." And I met Steve and Ann there. It was Christmas time in New York City. They're wonderful people. We had dinner together, and I just really wanted to figure out, how I did what I did. You know, he's just a real genuine guy, generous people. He and Ann are very generous. And all the banjos that I'd known for years, I'd seen him in 1976 out in Colorado. He was playing with John Prine and John Hartford at the University of Northern Colorado. And we were in emailing, we were talking about that. And so he just, we spent the whole night playing banjo till past midnight. And I wound up being there for 3 days. He threw a really wonderful party with me as guest of honor. Emery came down for it. All these great players were there, some celebrities and stuff. But he's just a genuine guy that loves the banjo. And I didn't know he was creating that award at all. This is in '09. I think the first award went out in 2010, and then Noam Pikelny got that, the great Noam Pikelny. And then the great Sammy Sheeler got it in 11. And then I was having a bad day at work. It was 12, and I think Hurricane Debbie had been pulling through the area. And I was the emergency operations director for the county I was in over on the Gulf Coast there, Florida. And that's a pretty high pressure gig. When you got storms coming in, you got a lot to juggle. And we saw this, I took a day off because the storm had passed us. So it's sunny out, it's backside of the storm, wind's blowing, it's nice and cool. About 3 in the afternoon, the FedEx truck pulls down the driveway. Well, earlier in the day, I get this phone call from Steve. And he goes, "Hey Mark, I've been working on all that stuff you showed me, all that clawhammer stuff, the lessons you're giving me." And he goes, "But I did some recordings and I want to send them to you, but FedEx doesn't have your address." I go, what? I didn't figure that he'd be pulling my leg. So I go, so he goes, you got to call FedEx and tell them that they don't have your address. So I called FedEx, and the guy's on the other phone going, yes, Mr. Johnson, we have your address. I guess I got it. What the hell? So 3 in the afternoon, the FedEx truck comes piling down the driveway, and this young lady gets out, and she's got an envelope for me. She's looking at it. She goes, from Hollywood, Steve, do you know Steve Martin? I go, well, I teach him, I've been showing him some banjo stuff. We play banjos. We're banjo guys. And she gets all excited. She's telling me about her dad being a fiddler. Anyway, while she's talking, I open it up, and a check for 50 grand falls out on the grass. I go, and then I pull the award out, and I fell to my knees. And the lady thought I was having a heart attack. She gets down, Mr. Johnson, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, I go, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I won. I won this award. Here's a check for 50 grand. She goes, oh my God. So she's hugging me, we're jumping up and down. I didn't even know her. And so when she left, I took the award. I lived by myself, and I came in and set it on the table over there, and I sat down on the couch. I didn't think about it for 2 hours. And it was pretty amazing. I had a word with my maker. I go, why me? This is all accidental. And then I got a phone call from Steve. He goes, did you get it? I go, yeah, I got it. He goes, what are you doing on the 24th of September? Which was the first day of IBMA in Nashville, the last year in Nashville in 2012. And he goes, I would like to perform with you on the David Letterman show. I go, yeah, I could do that. And he says he wanted to work it up as a duet, and because he always does it different with the different players coming in. The Gnome's performance and Sammy's performance were just amazing. So he had an idea. He just wanted to do 2 banjos. So we rehearsed. We tried to rehearse over the phone a little bit. It was working okay. And I go, you know what? It needs one more thing. And he goes, I know, I think so. I go, let's get Emery. He goes, yeah, let's get Emery, like that. So I call Emery up. I go, hey, what are you doing on the 24th of September? It's a Monday. I don't know if you're available. He goes, I got to work, but I could probably get off. He goes, would you be willing to come down to New York City and play rhythm guitar for me and Steve Martin on the David Letterman show? And the phone drops like that. And he picks it up and goes, yeah, I like this. So he was excited. So we did a big rehearsal in New York City, and it sounded killer, but it was missing one more thing. And I looked at Emery. Steve's sitting here, and I look at Emery. And I go, you got to take a break. It's the only way we could do Fork and Deer, because we always do it. And Steve and I are going to be playing banjo. You got to take your guitar break. He goes, really? I go, hell yeah, do it. And that was the magic. That was the glue that glued the whole thing together. And we went on the David Letterman show, and it was the first night out at IBMA, and everybody was watching it out in Nashville at the Renaissance Hotel. It was just a real exciting time, Still is. I mean, all the things that have happened, the great musicians I get to talk to and play with and listen to. There's so many, and the young people that come along now are just phenomenal. They've taken it even a notch higher. So life is good.